Have you ever thought about how your mindset might be holding you back and how it's likely to show up in your copy? Today, we're talking about how to shift your mindset so you can step into your role as the expert and make sure your messaging really reflects your authority, because I want you to attract the clients you truly want to work with and scale your business with confidence. Welcome to Seven Figure Copy, the show where I teach you how to create powerful strategic messaging so you can attract high-paying clients and scale your business to the next level with ease. I'm Gina Whitehouse, your expert conversion copywriter, and this podcast is for ambitious, value-driven female entrepreneurs like you who are ready to scale from 6 to 7 figures without sacrificing what matters most: your values, your time, and your family. In each episode, we'll dive into the art of crafting persuasive words for high-converting websites and sales pages, and you'll learn strategic copy techniques so you attract premium clients and boost your revenue. This podcast was created to help you tackle the challenges of balancing family life and business growth as you take your business to the next level. If you're ready to add a trusted partner to your team, making sure your message is compelling, consistent, and impactful, then you're in the right place. Welcome to Seven Figure Copy. I am your host, Gina Whitehouse, and today we are tackling something every entrepreneur faces, but really rarely we talk about, which is mindset, and specifically how your mindset might be sabotaging your copy and holding you back from showing up as that authority in your field, which ultimately will affect your sales. So this episode is going to be all about uncovering those hidden roadblocks and really just equipping you with the tools to write copy that reflects your expertise and attracts those premium clients. So today I want to share something with you that's a little embarrassing, and maybe it's happened to you, but years ago, maybe it was 8 years ago, my daughter came home from school and it was around Mother's Day, and she brought home one of those fill in the blank worksheets that, your kids fill out on Mother's Day or Father's Day. And it's the kind, that says, my mom's favorite food is, or my mom is really good at, right? They're cute and we love reading them. Well, when I got to the question that says, what does your mom like to do? Oh my goodness, my heart just sank. She wrote, my mom likes to be on the computer. And I was like, oh, great. That's how she sees me, right? That's the eyes of looking through the eyes of a 5 or 6 year old. And that was a wake up moment for me. It wasn't so good that she wrote that. It was a wake up call, and it really made me stop and ask myself, is this what they're going to remember me by? Are they going to remember me just being at my computer all the time? And that is not what I wanted. So while I was pouring so much energy into building the business I had then, I thought to myself, what am I really showing them? Am I showing them that work came first? Am I showing them that they didn't really matter? Was I showing them that my computer was more important than being present with them? And that, like I said, that worksheet was just a wake-up call for me. And it wasn't just about how I was managing my time, right? That's where my mind first went to. But then I realized, well, what about my mindset? I realized that I was stuck in this belief that, boundaries didn't matter and that I had to do everything myself, that it was okay at night to be sitting on the couch with a laptop, on my lap, that as long as I was in the room with them, that's fine, but I wasn't fully present. So yeah, I just, again, realized that I was stuck in these, beliefs. I didn't have any really strong boundaries. And I thought I had to do everything myself. And there's an endless to-do list, right, as a business owner. And I'm that kind of person that I just like to get ahead. I like to get it done. And so I would sit there on my computer, just doing one more thing. Well, what I really realized is that I really just wasn't owning my own expertise in my business. I wasn't delegating those things that really weren't my zone of genius, because maybe deep down, I just really wasn't ready to step into that role as the authority. And I just didn't feel confident enough to step away and set good boundaries for my business. I also worried too much, and I thought I just had to do everything myself, right? So it was that worry and anxiety about not getting enough done, or just I need to get more done, thinking that I had to do everything, that kept me at my desk or on the couch, with a computer in my lap all the time. And I realized that that mindset I was having was bleeding into everything. It was bleeding into my business. It was bleeding into my life. And yes, it was even bleeding into my copy. So here's the thing. Your mindset will show up everywhere, including in your messaging, including in your copy, whether it's in your emails or the sales copy for your program or your service, your website. It's just going to show up everywhere. See, if you're hesitant to show up as the expert, or if you lack confidence in what you have to offer the world, then it's going to come across in your copy. Again, it might be your website, your sales page, your emails, or it might even be your social media, in your captions. It could be what you say in stories on Instagram. It could be what you post here and there, right? So today we're going to tackle 3 common mindset challenges that might be holding you back from really positioning yourself as an expert in your field. And most importantly, I want to show you how shifting this mindset can transform not just your business, but how you show up in your copy and how you show up for the people that matter most. All right, so here's the first challenge I would say a lot of us have with our mindset, and that is really just downplaying our expertise. So let's start with this one mindset block that I see all the time. All right, so think about this. You are really good at what you do, but you hesitate to let it show in your copy. So think about this. Let's say you're an executive leadership coach, and your about page on your website says, I love working with executives to help them grow as leaders. That's not bad. It's friendly and it says what you like to do, but does it really highlight your expertise? Does it highlight the years of experience you've gained? So you've got to ask yourself, is my copy showing my potential clients or customers why I'm the person that they should let trust help them and lead them with confidence? And in this example, I would say that it doesn't. So let me give you a better example of what to say right or how to show up. So here's the good example for the executive leadership coach. All right, she may say something like this in her copy. I've spent the last decade helping executives build strong leadership skills so they can lead their teams with confidence and clarity, no matter the challenges. So do you see the difference from that to what we said before, which was just, I love working with executives to help them grow as leaders? Do you see the difference here? The good example is more specific, it's outcome focused, and it really establishes credibility. So it not only highlights the transformation, but it also positions this leadership coach as a trusted expert with real results. So we have to ask ourselves, why do most people hold back in their copy? Think about it. Perhaps you don't want to come off as braggy, you may be thinking, or prideful, or you just think, well, that's not my style. But what you're really doing is you're playing small, which makes it really harder for your ideal client to see the value in working with you. So please just remember this. As they say, you may have heard this before, that selling is service. And you're not just selling your product or your service, you're really selling yourself. You're selling what you have to give to that person that's going to help them so much. So when you're selling yourself, which is amazing when you think about it, because when you become confident in sharing who you are, notice I said there, sharing, because that's all you're really doing, you end up distinguishing yourself from all the other people out there that are offering the same thing as you do, because you're not the only one. You know that. I know that. There's many other people that are doing the same things, but it's really to your advantage to share why someone will work with you or buy with you, share your expertise, share the years of experience you've worked with people, and share those outcomes, share those transformations, because it will set you apart from everyone else. So here's your mindset shift. I want you to remember that your audience, they want to know why you are the expert. They're actually looking for someone who can guide them to the transformation they need. So be confident, okay? Own your authority. And by doing that, you're actually making it easier for them to trust you. Here's the next mindset challenge that I see a lot, and that is staying vague in your messaging. And it usually really comes from a fear of narrowing down your audience too much. So you might be thinking, well, if I'm too specific, I'll miss out on potential clients and customers. Now, if you've thought this, you are not alone. I have done the same thing. I really have. But here's the truth. And here's what I have learned, that general messaging doesn't connect with anybody. So let's imagine this. Let's imagine that you are like a macronutrition coach, okay? And your homepage says, I help people get healthier and feel better about themselves. That sounds great, but it doesn't tell your ideal client, who maybe she's a busy mom who's struggling to prioritize her health. It doesn't tell her really why you're the perfect person to coach her. Now, if you say something like, I help busy moms master tracking their macronutrients so they can lose weight and feel stronger without giving up family pizza night, that person is going to see themselves in that messaging. Why? Because she feels understood. And she knows that you're the coach who gets her unique struggles. And really, when you look at that sentence again, I help busy moms master tracking their macronutrients so they can lose weight and feel stronger without giving up family pizza night. You're directly talking to that transformation, the outcome that they want to have. They want to feel stronger. They want to lose weight, but they still want to eat pizza, right? So here are two more examples. So this example, let's say, is a family therapist who specializes in working with kids that have anger issues. So here's the bad example. It would say, I help families work through their challenges and create harmony at home. So the first thing I think when I read that is, okay, well, what are their challenges? Can we get more specific, right? She's just talking so general there. So here is the good example. I help parents of kids who don't know how to control their anger yet create calm, connected homes by teaching them practical tools and strategies to reduce outbursts and improve communication. So you think about, what are those outcomes that they want to have? They want to reduce the outbursts. They want to have those tools and strategies to be able to help their kids calm down and have that self-control over the anger, the feeling, right? So that's a great example because it's just more specific. It's not general. And here's another example. This would be for like a store, let's say a business owner who has a store who sells baby clothing for preemies. So the bad example, I sell clothes for babies. Like, that's really, really general, right? But this person's actually selling clothes for preemies. So we need to be more specific in the copy. So here's the good example. I create soft, perfectly sized clothing for preemie babies, giving parents the peace of mind that their little ones are comfortable, cozy, and cared for during those precious early days. That hits home so much better. So look at your copy. Are you speaking in generalities? Do you need to narrow it down and really be more specific? Okay. These examples, the bad ones that are just very vague and generic, it makes it hard for the audience to know if that service or product is truly for them. On the other hand, though, the good examples really paint that clear picture of the target audience and what their specific needs are. And also, just that unique transformation or solution that's being offered. So be specific in your copy, in your messaging, and it builds trust and it builds connection. So it's also going to help you position yourself again as the expert who truly understands your client's struggles and desires. So here's your mindset shift, okay? Don't be afraid to get specific. When you actually speak directly to your ideal client's unique needs, struggles, and desires, you're building that connection that makes them want to work with you. Okay, this is our last mindset challenge that we're going to talk about today. And that third mindset block is hesitating to ask for the sale. I think we've all been here. It's that moment when you're writing your website copy or sales page copy or even an email, when you think, I don't want to come across as pushy. So instead of inviting your audience to take action, what you end up doing is you soften your language or you just skip the call to action altogether. Raise your hand if you've done it. I have. So think about this. It's okay to be real. We have all done this, but we need to see how this plays out. So imagine yourself as, let's say, a marriage therapist. Okay. And on your services page, you write, if you'd like to talk more, feel free to get in touch. It's polite, but it's not really inspiring anyone to take that next step, right? So this is what I wrote instead. Look at this, listen to this statement. Are you ready to transform your relationship? Schedule your free consultation today and let's begin creating the connection you've been longing for years. Do you see that difference? The second version is more clear, it's more direct, and focused on the benefit of working with you. It's not pushy. Instead, it's empowering and it hits the desires of that person's client. So your audience is like always looking for someone to lead them towards a solution. They want someone to tell them what to do. So don't be afraid to show them how to get there. Here's 2 more examples I want to give you that really drive home this idea. Okay, so this one is for a website designer. Here's the bad example. It says, if you think your website needs a refresh, send me a message. Again, it's short, polite, but doesn't really hammer it home. So here's the good example. Let's turn your website into a client converting machine. Book your free discovery call today, and let's create a site that positions you as the expert and gives you the results you want. Again, we're being more specific here. We're talking about the desires of that client. They want a website that's going to convert visitors into buyers. So they're telling them, book your free discovery call today. All right. The next example I have for you, this is for a financial planner that works with small business owners who are females. So the bad example, if you're interested in financial planning services, feel free to reach out. Here's a better example. Are you ready to take control of your finances? Schedule a free consultation today and discover how you can maximize your profits and plan for sustainable growth. So now that I read that again, is it the greatest example? I would say it's a better example than the bad example, but I can even look at this right now and see how I can improve on this. This is good in the way that it's telling them to schedule a free consultation today. It's talking about the outcomes. It says, do you want to maximize your profits? Let's plan for sustainable growth. It asks, are you ready to take control of your finances? But I would say, it's a small business owner, female run business. I think that example could probably speak a little bit more to where they're at in life, the things they're busy with. Yeah, I'm going to have to think on that one a little bit more. That's why doing the research is so good when you're writing copy, which is a whole other episode. But anyways, I just wanted to give you some quick examples so you could see the difference. The bad examples are just too passive, and they really just place the responsibility on the audience to figure out why they should take the next step. You want to tell them actually why they should take the next step. The good examples are more action-oriented. They clearly outline the benefit and give a clear direction of what the audience should do next. So just remember this, that you want to confidently ask for the sale, and it's okay to ask for it. It positions you as a leader who's ready to guide your clients towards their goals. So here's your mindset shift. Think of your call to action as actually serving someone where they are at with the need they have. It's not a demand. Your audience is looking for solutions, and your confident invitation really shows them that you're ready to help them. So let's recap really quickly. We talked about 3 common mindset challenges that many of us fall into. Okay, you're not the only one. And these challenges might really be holding you back in your messaging. You may be downplaying your expertise. You may be just speaking in generalities or hesitating to ask for the sale. Now, each of these can weaken your copy, and it can make it harder for your audience to see you as the expert they need. So here's your challenge for the week. Again, just go back to what you have. Go back to your current messaging. It could be a headline. It may be your about page section. This is where it shows up a lot, actually, these roadblocks. Or it may be just a specific call to action that you have. And try rewriting it using these principles that we discussed today. Ask yourself, am I being specific enough? Is it bold enough? Is there confidence coming across that I am an expert? Then and read it aloud to yourself. I know that helps me whenever I'm writing copy for someone. I always read it out loud a couple times before I send it off. And every time I read it out loud, I find either some kind of mistake, or I'll also notice while I'm reading something out loud, it's like I'm also reading it in my mind. And if my mind thinks something different than what I'm actually saying, then that's kind of like a little red flag for me to go back and review that piece of copy and think, okay, how should this really sound? I hope that makes sense. I know reading out loud and saying it differently in your mind, that just happens to me. It may happen to you too, but just try it. Read it out loud to yourself and just notice, notice how it feels when you're reading it out loud, and just ask yourself, like, does this convey authority? Does this convey an expertise? How does it speak to my audience? Like, what are they going to hear when they read this? Am I giving them a next step, or are they just going to read it and then feel like they're left hanging? All right. So just go back and review your copy. You don't have to spend hours doing this. Just take 10 minutes and choose one area and see how it can improve. Thank you so much for joining me today. And there's one thing I want to touch on really quickly, and that sometimes it's really hard to position ourselves as an expert in our copy because we are so in our own heads. I mean, you live in your business all day, and it's kind of hard to step out of that box and look at what you're doing and see maybe some of those gaps, those areas that need to be improved on. It's easy to second guess ourselves and really to overthink our messaging, right? And downplay our expertise in our copy. But here's the truth. Your audience won't see you as the expert you truly are unless your words really reflect the confidence and authority that you have. So if this sounds familiar, let's talk. I offer a 30-minute complimentary consultation where we will explore your copy needs and discuss how I can help you craft that strategic messaging that positions you as the go-to expert. Sometimes, again, having someone outside of your business can make all the difference in seeing those gaps in your message and copy that you may be missing. And sometimes it's just really time to delegate those things that you might not be really great at, or that's just taking so much of your time, and really just give it to an expert to do. So in this case, it's your copy and you're giving it to an expert to write. If you find yourself in that place where I was, where you're sitting on the couch at night with your laptop or behind your desk and you're not being fully present with the ones you love, please don't hesitate to book a call with me. I want you to be confident that your copy is doing the work it should be doing for you, so you can really have that time freedom that you deserve, that your business should be giving you. So just go over to the show notes, head over there, and that's where you can schedule your complimentary consultation with me. And let's see how we can work together to really elevate your message, your business, and position you as the expert. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of 7-Figure Copy. If you've enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave a 5-star review on your favorite platform and follow me on Instagram for more insights. Can you think of one female entrepreneur or small business owner right now who could benefit from listening to this podcast? Please share this episode with them. And if you're ready to hand off the copy for your website, emails, and sales pages, head over to www.whitehousesm.com to book a complimentary copy chat with me. Let's partner together to take your business to the next level.